What's up, NBA fans? What's up, all sports fans? This is JB right here, host of the Behind the Bench podcast networking channel. Just want to give a shout out to the rest of the crew. I'm talking about Shad, Kelvin, and Jermaine. For everyone who's tuning in, become a subscriber and support Behind the Bench and help make this show the best that it can possibly be. Now, this is a short video right here, man. I love the NBA. I love talking about it, man. I love watching today's players. And I love the history of the game, man. And I love everything about it, man. The pros and the cons, man. The ups and the downs, the peaks and the valleys. You know, that's what makes a league great. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about what it means for a player to represent a franchise. And like I said, this just take a couple minutes, man. You know, what it means for a player, particularly a superstar, to represent a franchise, and particularly a player who was drafted by that very franchise. And it's a rare opportunity, man, you know, for a player to be able to represent an organization for his entire career who drafted him. I think it's awesome, man. And, you know, in today's culture, you know, we're led to believe that there's no loyalty in sports. Yes, it is. There is loyalty in sports. You have to look at it in levels. There's levels to it. Most players who are drafted in the NBA, they don't have the ability to become superstars. So they may find themselves playing for a number of teams throughout their career. You know what I'm saying? But for a superstar, outside of a superstar requesting to be traded, an organization will never seek to move on from a superstar franchise player. Historically, that's been the case. So I believe as a reward for a superstar willing to represent a franchise throughout the entirety of his career, that's why they created the supermax contract. The supermax. It was not brought forth for a player to sign and then a year into the contract or right after they sign the supermax contract extension, they request a trade. And then they'll request a trade to a certain team. That's not what the supermax was designed to do. And when you look at a player like Steph Curry, you know, an unsung player who was drafted into the league, he didn't have the popularity or the anticipation, you know, to achieve what he wound up achieving over the years. And when you think about a player like this, you can't even imagine him playing for another franchise. That's what you call a franchise player. Where, let's say if he, out of the blue, played for the Philadelphia 76ers or, you know, like a division rival, it wouldn't even feel right. It wouldn't even look right. So when you see these players, man, you know, where we've had superstars in the past 5 years turn down supermax deals to pursue winning or joining forces or whatnot. And here go a player, man, he's won 4 championships in his career. And he wouldn't even dream about playing for another franchise. So when they say Warriors for life, that's what Steph Curry is. So even when he retires, he's still going to represent their franchise, just like Rick Barry did. You know, he played a majority of his career for the Warriors, you know, but Steph Curry, I would say he's the greatest player to ever represent their franchise in their franchise history, bar none. All-time three-point shooting leader, all-time leader in free throw shooting percentage, four-time champion. I know he won back-to-back league MVPs, you know, and in his own way, he was revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about a supermax player, I think of someone like a Steph Curry. See, by the time you get a supermax deal, you on the other side of 30. So when a team signs you to a supermax deal, it's done so with the idea that you're going to play the entirety of your career with that franchise. It was not designed to sign that for that type of money and then request a trade out of the sky blue for the sake of so-called player empowerment. When you look at Steph Curry, man, he wouldn't even dream about. Remember the season they had after Kevin Durant was kind of pushed out of Golden State because the talking heads wanted them to go, and they had their worst season. They won like 15, 16 games, and I think they had the worst record in the Western Conference. Steph Curry didn't say trade me. Steph Curry represented, and he came back the next year and was like runner-up MVP. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he led the league in scoring that year. And that was in the 21. No, that was the 2021 season. So, like I said, man, when I think of a supermax player, man, it's like a player, man, who's gonna play the entire career. That's special. You know, he's gonna go down in history, man, like Kobe Bean, the late Kobe Bean Bryant, played his whole career for the Los Angeles Lakers. Tim Duncan played his whole career for the San Antonio Spurs. Dirk Nowitzki played his whole career for the Dallas Mavericks. Man, that's special, man. You know, Magic Johnson, Larry Birds of the world, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, I mean, essentially he played his whole career for the Bulls. The 2 years with the Wizards, man, you know, the front office or ownership asked him to play for the team to generate more revenue, and in return they would promote him to like minority ownership when he was like team president. So he relinquished his position as president, played for the franchise for 2 years, and you know, they parted ways after that. But for the most part, Michael Jordan is a Chicago Bull, you know what I'm saying? It's special. It's special. So I just want to throw it out there, you know, real quick, man. And I believe a lot of these young stars, man, they're seeing the you know, the importance of representing the franchise, man. You know, whether you win or lose, because you're not going to win a championship every year. You know what I'm saying? So these young stars who have re-signed with their current teams who drafted them, the Anthony Edwards, the Zions, the Ja Morants, the Jason Tatums, the Jaylen Browns, the Luka Doncic's, man. You know, well, look at Giannis. You know, Giannis has the opportunity to do the same thing. Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I don't believe we're going to see all this player movement. Nikola Jokic too, Jamal Murray. I mean, we can go down the line. Devin Booker, you know. I don't think we're going to see all this player movement like we've seen over the past decade or so. And I think it's going to be a good thing for the NBA. So kudos to players like Steph Curry, man. He's a Golden State Warrior for life. And you got to respect it. Even if Golden State is not your squad, you still got to respect it at the end of the day. So I just want to drop that nugget. And until next time, this is JB for BTB Behind the Bench.